It's the unboxing. Oh, yeah. Check, check. Can you hear me now? Is that better? Check 1, 2. Check, check. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Okay, 5 by 5. Great. Thank you for letting me know. You know, sometimes when you're a YouTube content creator, things just go wrong. Stream Elements, StreamYard, Voice Meter, it's kind of a crapshoot, but I appreciate you letting me know. Hey, my good friend Skugly Yotun is in the house. Good to see you, my friend. Well, I did get a lot of different stuff in the mail recently. One of which is this really cool Star Trek mug, which has a little coffee in it. But if you have a lot of coffee in it, they disappear from the transporter and they appear on the other side of the cup, which is the planet below, presumably. So got that. But let's see what else we have here. This arrived recently. This is the Colin Baker Season 1 remastered set. And this contains Attack of the Cybermen, Vengeance on Varos, The Mask of the Rani, The Two Doctors, Time Lash, and Revelation of the Daleks. All 13 episodes newly restored for Blu-ray and packed with brand new extra material, which includes exclusive extended versions of Vengeance on Varos and Revelation of the Daleks. Behind the Sofa, 6 new episodes with an all-star lineup of classic Doctor Who guests, making of documentaries, including a brand new making of documentary for the Two Doctors, plus a revisit to the season's location with Colin Baker and Nicola Bryant. I've actually seen this season, and Nicola Bryant is still a hottie, if you don't mind me being a toxic male. And she's very funny. And it's kind of interesting to see her talk with her native British accent, because she played an American when she was Perry on Doctor Who way back in the 80s. Phantom Boomer is here. Good to see you, my friend. Hail. Mr. MH asks, who's more powerful, the Daleks or the Cybermen? Well, let's see. We have the cyber controller here. Let's see if I can put that down somewhere where you can see it a little bit better. And well, my Daleks are on top here, so I don't know if you can see those, but probably won't be able to see them next to the cyber controller. The Daleks can't exterminate Cybermen, and I don't know if cyber guns kill Daleks, so I think it's kind of a stalemate, to be honest. But interesting question. Glad you asked that. So let's move right along. I ordered some, all actually, of Micah Hanks books. So I wanted to share these with you. the UFO Singularity, which I think is going to be the next giveaway the next time he's on the show. Looking forward to reading this. Going to send these all to him and have him autograph them because he's such a swell guy. And this is his book, The Ghost Rockets, which is a fascinating read. A really good book. Good to see you, my friend Dalek451, who says the Daleks are easily more powerful than the Cybermen. Well, it depends on where they are and when they are. I think seeing the Daleks walking around London in the black and white episode, I don't remember which Doctor it was. Might have been the second Doctor. But before the modern era, the Cybermen were pretty menacing. But yeah, the Daleks seem to have their shit together a little bit more, you know, with all their spaceships and time travel devices, things like that. So Phantom Boomer said Red Ghost Rockets was good. Yeah, I think it's a good book. I'm glad you liked it. Something that probably a lot of people don't know about Micah is that he wrote The Complete Guide to Maverick Podcasting, a manual for nonconformists, which speaks highly to me. And of course, you have this great picture of Micah on the back there being a nonconformist, as I am, of course. And there's his book, Magic, Mysticism, and the Molecule, Altered States and the Search for Sentient Intelligence from Other Worlds by Micah Hanks. Now, Micah has been in lots and lots of other publications, books. He's contributed chapters to Reframing the Debate, Robbie Graham's UFO book, where he and Greg Bishop and Joshua Cutchin and lots of other people contributed chapters, mostly having to do with kind of a new take on UFOs, including Greg Bishop's co-creation theory. Actually, tomorrow on Into the Fringe, we'll be having Walter Bosley, and I'm going to be premiering some footage that I took today of a helicopter that was just going very, very slowly in a lazy circle right over my house. And it woke me up. When I woke up, there were so many helicopters in the sky. I thought they were lawnmowers, but I went outside and I got some pretty good footage. I'm going to be premiering that tomorrow. So don't miss Into the Fringe, 7 o'clock Central. You're going to want to check that out. Yes, they are awesome books, Mr. M.H. All right. I also got one of my favorite movies. This is an excellent remaster of On the Beach. And this is based on a really good book. And this comes with the movie On the Beach with Gregory Peck and Eva Gardner and Fred Astaire and Anthony Perkins. Comes with a little booklet that tells you about the remaster and the film. It's got some great pictures and stuff in it. And it's a really, really great story. I really encourage everybody to watch the film, read the book. It's one of the greatest books I've ever read. And it's a very good movie. It's a really good adaptation. And they also include Fallout. Neville Shute's Fallout, which is, let's see here, the first film on the work of British novelist Neville Shute, famous for his international bestsellers A Town Like Alice and On the Beach. A fascinating exploration into his life and influences, Fallout focuses on the writing of On the Beach and goes beyond the scenes of Stanley Kramer's famous Hollywood film starring Ava Gardner and Gregory Peck, which was shot in Australia in 1959. Special features, 1080p high definition presentation, After the Fallout interview with director Lawrence Johnson theatrical trailer. So it comes with the film, and it comes with a documentary about the film, and of course, this nice little booklet here. And the whole thing fits into this really cool sort of hard case. Pretty snug. Like so. I think the booklet has to go in between. Yeah. Bloody microphone. And then this goes on top, like so. And looking forward to watching this movie. But I'm not done yet. There's more to go. Hey, Andy Masterson is here. I was just thinking about you earlier. In a good way. Nothing weird. But good to see you, my friend. Glad you're here. Yeah, good movie. Great cast. Phantom Boomer is correct. You are correct, sir. Yes. Now, where does the cyber controller go? Back here with all the Doctor Who stuff. So the next thing I'm going to show off, this was something I got for October, and I was going to show this in my Cosme Midnight Movies. Sorry that didn't work out the way that I planned, but I'll be showing some more movies. Now, this comes, of course, in a coffin box set. These are DVDs, and I used to have this collection, and I had to buy it again because I couldn't find it. I evidently lost it during one of the 7 moves that I've had in the last 10 years. But the Blind Dead collection is very important. These films were directed and written by Armand de Osorio, and they were, I believe, shot in Spain, and I don't know what that is, but it says 1971 director Armand de Osorio created what horror fans would consider to be Spain's Night of the Living Dead. And so these are about Knights Templar that go to the Holy Land and learn black magic while they're there. And when they get back, they're punished by having their eyes removed. So they're undead, and they can hear your heartbeat. Now, these films are kind of weirdly paced, especially the first one. The pacing gets better as you go. The second one is called Return of the Evil Dead. I don't know why they didn't call it Return of the Blind Dead. Maybe the Evil Dead had come out, and it's kind of more of the same, to be honest. But better pacing, snappier, moves along a little bit better. The next film is called The Ghost Galleon. And for this movie, they were able to procure half of a boat, and they shot one side when they needed to show that side of the boat, and then they went around to the other side of the boat when they needed to show the other side, and they just redressed the left side to look like the north part of the boat, or the aft, I guess, and the right side was fore, I think. Anyway, The Ghost Galleon, there you go. Interesting movie. Now, this is under the category of 60s Euro horror, and there's lots of that. But this is some of the good stuff. And of course, we also have Night of the Seagulls, which is the final chilling chapter in the Blind Dead series. There's also another film that Armando de Osorio made that's called Fangs of the Living Dead. And It's a really good film. It's not included in this box set, but I already own a copy of it, and this comes with I think a really good book about the Blind Dead series, and there is a little documentary about Armand D'Osorio, the director. And it's called Armando D'Osorio, Director. So that's a nice little extra. It says extras, The Last Templar documentary on writer-director Armando D'Osorio, unearthing the Blind Dead interview with writer-director Armando D'Osorio, and Farewell to Spain's Night of Horror. And that's a DVD-ROM. So you can put that into the computer, and presumably if all that stuff is still online, it will show it to you. So that is the Blind Dead box set. I don't know if you can find any of these movies on Amazon, but they are definitely worth watching. I love this stuff. This is like, I grew up watching this kind of stuff expurgated because it was being shown on, just regular network TV, or actually it was a UHF station, I think. But there's a little bit of nudity, a little bit more gore, I guess. Actually, there's not so much gore in those movies, the Blind Dead movies. It's there is a human sacrifice in the first film, and I think there's some blood there. So, as I recall, when I was a kid, I did see that part, but they may have edited out the blood. I'm not sure. But you do see the girl on the the slate get stabbed with the sacrificial knife. So there used to be this TV show based on Vampire the Masquerade called Kindred the Embraced, and I remember really liking it. I think it came out during the 90s, and this is a photo of the cast. And then they also include the Book of Nod. There you go. And this has all kinds of stuff about vampires and the series and the different clans and all that kind of stuff. And it's really a nice little book. It's got all kinds of great stuff in it. And of course, the show as well. And the thing about Kindred the Embraced is it only went for one season, and then the lead actor was killed, I think, in some sort of a car accident, and they didn't recast it. They just ended the show. But it's kind of a vampire soap opera, actually, after viewing it when it arrived, and it's still pretty cool, but it's a little bit more soap opera than I expected. One little happy accident that I found in Kindred the Embraced is Kate Vernon, who played Saul Tighe's wife in the new Battlestar Galactica, was in this back when she was sort of more in her prime, and she was a hottie as well. So excuse my toxic masculinity again, but hey, what are you gonna do? Got my Bela Lugosi figure, which you can see right there next to the Cardinal Sin action figure that my good friend Andy Masterson made for me, and it's really cool. And right next to it, I have the mummy, and when you take the sarcophagus lid off, the mummy is inside there. Okay, so now we're going to get a little Mr. MH says, love this. Armand loves the dead. Yes. Phantom Boomer says, have that one. And he also asks, Cardinal Sin, have you seen Ultraviolet, a British vampire series? I think I've seen part of one episode, but I haven't watched the series. I probably need to do that if you recommend it anyway. So I'm setting up, well, I better back up. My best friend, Brian, who I met in junior high school when he pushed me into the girls' bathroom. He was a terror tot, and he passed away in 1998. But he used to run a fantasy role-playing game that he wrote called Holocaust 2000. And back in the 80s, you know, the year 2000 was kind of far away. So it was kind of like a Mad Max game, and it was very creative. I've written a dozen fantasy role-playing games, and I wrote one very similar to it, and I just called it The Road Warrior. And my friend, The Dawn of Time, who sometimes is in the chat, mentioned the other day, he's also a friend from junior high, and he mentioned how much he missed Brian and how much he missed playing Holocaust 2000. So I decided I'm going to make Holocaust 2050, and I needed some materials to draw on to do that. So Steve Jackson Games makes the generic universal role-playing system, and this is GURPS Auto Duel, role-playing in the world of Car Wars. And Car Wars is a board game that Steve Jackson Games made, and it's kind of cool, but it's kind of a war game, and there isn't any role-playing involved. It's just cars and shooting at cars, and you know, who wins the auto duel and that kind of thing. And I'm much more interested in the role-playing experience. One of the things I liked about Vampire the Masquerade is that it didn't rely on indices and matrices and saving throws and rolling dice and stuff like that. The play is the thing. So it's about, you know, playing your character. And one of the cool things about being the storyteller, which is what they call the dungeon master in Vampire the Masquerade, is you get to play all these non-player characters. And because they're all vampires, they have different, you know, backgrounds, different clans. You know, some are Nosferatu. I got to, you know, use my British accent a lot and do all kinds of different voices. So that was fun. Mr. MH asks in the chat, Cardinal Sin, what is your favorite paranormal/alien book of all time? Man, you ask the most difficult questions. I'd probably have to say either Missing Time or Secret Life. The alien abduction books, the first one by Bud Hopkins, the second one by Dr. David Jacobs, and the books that they did after that, even better. But you have to start with the first one, otherwise you don't get sequels if we're talking about movies, or follow-ups if we're talking about books. So I'm also drawing on Fallout, the role-playing game, as a resource, but this is it's almost more of a coffee table book than like a role-playing resource book. It's got beautiful pictures. It does have some, you know, different stuff in it for, you know, like how to combat robots and all this kind of thing. But really, for me, the Fallout role-playing game is just about using the source book as something to add to the mix. And then this is Steve Jackson's generic universal role-playing system. And this is the basic set, which is really all you need. It's a pretty thick source book. and has, everything that you need to play all the various different kinds of role-playing games that they've made for GURPS. Every kind of role-playing game that you can imagine, Steve Jackson Games, GURPS, has put out modules for it. Cabal is their Vampire the Masquerade. And the interesting thing about GURPS, the generic universal role-playing system, is they just use 3d6 for everything. There's no 20-sided dice or anything. Everything is 3d6, literally. So it's very easy. Hey, Rui Goncalves is here. Good to see you, my friend. UFO Bigfoot is in the house. Says, hey, Cardinal, got my book from Albert. Thanks, man. Cool. Do me a favor. Send me a photo of you with the book to this email address, Gil@sunflower.com, and I'll add it to the others. And you never know, you might show up on one of the episodes. And let's see, what else do I have here? Oh, the pièce de résistance. So I got this poster from Jason Gleaves, and he has been on the show, and he's an artist and a writer, and I've had him on the show a couple of times. And most recently, he wrote a book, or he's writing a book. I'm not sure if it's out yet. I'll have him back on when it is out. But it's about, I think it's about the Pascagoula case, the Calvin Parker, Charles Hickson abduction, which is a little different from most and has some really interesting aspects to it. So because this is an overseas package, it's very well packed, has a lot of tape. So I appreciate your patience while I unwrap this thing with an open utility knife. Probably not the smartest thing, but I never claimed to be smart. Not anymore, anyway. I used to be. Oh, good. Staples. Well, that'll help. Yeah, it used to be a genius. And then after some physical, medical issues, now I'm just an average Gil. But hey, what do you want? It's a good thing I started out a genius. Because to quote Alex Jones, now I would just be a low-grade moron. I always thought it was funny when he called people low-grade morons, like, as opposed to what, high-grade morons? I'm a high-grade moron, turning the fish gay, making the frogs wish they were fish. So we will try to use my lack of fingernails to get the rest of the staples open here. What else do I have that might help me with these staples? I should get a staple remover, but I don't have one. I guess I'll just try and use my fingernails until they bleed. Ow. So I know there are a lot of questions about the channel. Hey, Gil, what's going on with the channel? We're gonna be bouncing back pretty soon, doing more shows, more Masters of the Genre, more Cardinal Sin and Friends trivia, SmackDown, more Midnight to Midnight, all that good stuff. Again, please be patient with me. And God damn, this thing is really, it's almost like it doesn't want to be opened. There we go. Now it's going to be getting that staple out. It's going to be the hard part. Not looking forward to that. I hope it's worth the wait, everybody. I'm sure it will be. And there are two, and I can't find where. There it is. My goodness. I'll never get that out. I'm going to destroy the thing trying to get it out. Maybe I should go get a knife. I think I will go get a knife. Be right back. I shall return. Then again, so will a bad check. So you never know. See you momentarily. Oakley dokley, we are back. And yes, Phantom Boomer knows just the knife. Phantom Boomer, being one of my great subscribers, sent me this wonderful handmade knife, which as a vegan, I don't really know what to do with, but it is a cool knife. Check that sucker out. Must be Australian, right? Now that's a knife. Now that's a knife. And it's extremely sharp, handmade. This could really do some damage in a post-Holocaust scenario, like Holocaust 2050. But for right now, we're just going to try and use it to get that staple out, because this is the best knife that I have for that kind of thing. And if you would like to see me bleed, keep watching. I think we're getting there. I think now we're just destroying the lid entirely. There we go. Yeah, it's just destroying the lid entirely. But we might be able to get it out now. Nope. Boy, that thing is stuck in there good. Jason wanted to make sure that this poster got here in good shape, and I'm sure it did. But I may destroy it in trying to get it out. I don't know. Yeah, I think I did. There we go. Well, Phantom Boomer, thank you for the knife. It did serve a purpose, might not serve the purpose for which it was intended, but it did open the tube. So I will put it back in the scabbard, I guess, is what you might call it. And it slips right in and snaps back on, so that it's usually, anyway, if you do it correctly, child safe. And I'm now going to, after this, go straight to Home Depot and just get a staple remover, because this is kind of overkill. In any case, let's take a look at what Jason sent me from England, Cheshire, in the United Kingdom. I wonder if there's anything else in here. Nope, I don't think so. big package. And now we have a little tape with some tissue paper. So I need to be very careful instead of what I did with the tube. I need to kind of be the opposite. Very careful with the tape. And I will probably have this framed, or at least dry mounted. Never have enough UFO posters, in the background for Into the Fringe. Need to get some Bigfoot posters too, right? So we're going to take that off. And I know the anticipation is killing me, so it must be killing you guys too. And we have one more piece of tape to get rid of. This must be some kind of tape that I'm unfamiliar with. It looks like Scotch tape, but it's a little heavier. So we'll take that off. Oh, this is the certificate of authenticity. How cool is that? So I am number 1007. Bloody microphone. Production poster design of Calvin Parker abduction case, Pascagoula, Mississippi, USA, 1973. This artwork is a one-of-a-kind original limited edition. All copyright reproduction rights are reserved by the artist. Signed by Calvin Parker and Jason Gleaves. Artist Jason Gleaves, medium sketch draft poster design. Poster print, year completed, 2021. Limited edition number 3032483, and signed by Jason down there. So that's cool. Now let's take a look at the poster. Ooh, this is going to be cool. If I can figure out the right way to unroll it. So this is what Calvin Parker called the ugly one. And this over here is the female alien that caused so much trouble for those two gentlemen. There you see J. Allen Hynek, and I believe that is a young Calvin Parker on the other side there. So I'll have to have this dry mounted so you can see everything at the same time. And while I have that out, Jason made 3D printed, I think, some little figures of the aliens that abducted Calvin and Charles Hickson. I know it's kind of hard to see, but according to the account, they didn't walk. They just kind of floated along over the ground, and that seems to be something that happens in lots of cases. These aliens or robots or whatever they were had no nose, eyes, or mouth. They just had these little 3 sort of cones, 2 for ears and 1 for a nose. So, and their feet were together at the bottom like that. And I have a whole diorama of the abduction, but it's very delicate, and if it falls, it'll break. So that's why I don't have it up with the rest of my stuff. I want to keep it safe. Yes, Mr. MH, in an unusual move, while Calvin Parker was being, I guess the word would be paralyzed, he managed to get free and he thought that the woman alien was quote an evil bitch, close quote. And so he was struggling as hard as he could, and he said, if I can get free, I'm gonna clock her. And he did. And it's only the second instance that I know of an abductee being able to move, get up, go after an alien. The other one being Travis Walton, who I think found some kind of a metal pole and went after these little grays, and they left the room, and then he went down and found a Nordic alien that looked human and he thought was human. Rui says, a very nice and cool poster. I think it is. Mr. MH says, they look a little like the Zanfretta aliens. You might have to tell me a little bit more about that, or I might have to search on it. And Rui says, cool model doll. Yeah, it is pretty cool. Pretty cool. So there you have it. All the stuff that we got from Stuff in the Mail recently. And I do want to thank you for joining me on
It's the unboxing. Oh, yeah.
Hey, it's only a 7-second clip, so I might as well use it. And that's it for today. Thanks for joining me. And we will be seeing you tomorrow on Into the Fringe, as I mentioned, with Walter Bosley, who's always fun, and we'll have lots of interesting stuff to tell us. And expect some other stuff this weekend. We're going to try and get some of these shows back on the air, see if I can get monetized, which would be a good thing. And other than that, it is Cardinal Sin out.